Hey everyone, we're up in Perham, Minnesota today to expose the cruel and unsustainable tradition of turtle races. Turtle races might sound from a bystander's point of view like an innocent, family fun event, but in reality it causes a lot of turtle deaths throughout the summer. So we wanted to bring some awareness about the event and some suggestions on how we can make it more sustainable. The way turtle races work is there is a brick stage with 2 rings. The inner ring is where participants take their turtles and line them up, and at the blow of a whistle, they let the turtles go, and whichever turtle makes it to the outer ring first wins. This may sound harmless, but the majority of turtles being raced are wild-caught animals. The public is actually encouraged to go collect a turtle from the wild to use in the race, and if they don't have one of their own, the city collects hundreds of turtles from the area to rent out for this event. I actually learned about this event when I was hired to do a turtle program up in the area, and in the middle of that program back in 2016, I was made aware of the event and how harmful it actually is to turtles and the mortality rate, which we'll get into in a little bit. And when I was hired to come back the following year, in addition to teaching people about the native turtles in the area, I also taught them why this is not a sustainable event. And I must have ruffled some feathers because I haven't been invited back since. But before we share all of our opinions on this event, we want to show you what the turtle races look like firsthand. Then we'll go into the details about how bad they really are. So we're actually going incognito to the Turtle Fest because we don't want to be affiliated with this event. So let's check out the races.
Welcome to Perham and welcome. We're going to kick off Turtle Fest in Perham, Minnesota 2021. This race right today kicks that off. So here we go.
Okay, they're just about to explain how the race works.
Gene's Workshop right across the way supplies the minnows for the turtles. It takes some time, it takes some food to take care of these turtles all summer long. All creatures vet for some turtle food. We'll have one bunch racing, and we'll have another bunch that'll be on deck, and we'll try to get this going, and we'll run 10 turtles per race, because we got quite a few here today. If you bring your own turtle, you can leave your turtle if you want, or you can take it back home. After the race, return your turtles right over here, which we call the pit. Remember, races are held here every Wednesday now through August at 10:30. All right, we're going to do the demonstration. Let's go. All right, turtles out of the bucket. Keep them behind the line. And as soon as the judges blow the whistle, it's time to go. Set the turtle down. Bang your bucket. Some days they move really fast. Some days they don't move at all. Some days they move really slow. All right, everybody pick up their turtles.
They smack the bucket to scare the turtles forward. I didn't realize that.
Take your turtles out of the buckets and I'll be ready to go whenever the judge blows the whistle. We'll be done. There we go. Bang your buckets, get them going, stay behind the line. Races 51 through 60 should be in the pits picking up their turtles. And we're over there. This one decided to take a turn. All right, I want numbers 51 through 60 to the center of the track, please. Popcorn, which is called Sweet Chaos.
Okay.
Down here.
What's he doing?
Center of the track, please. 31 through 40. There we go. Number 61 is the turtle.
Oh, now you want to go.
All right, number 61. And Jerry, here we go. Now pick up your turtle, racer, take them back to the pitch. And here we go.
as you saw in the first heat, the concept is pretty simple. The participants let their turtles go in the inner ring, and whichever turtle makes it to the outer ring first wins. However, being wild-caught turtles for the most part, these animals are given to kids without adult supervision many times, which results in a lot of turtles being mishandled and dropped and kicked, and participants are actually encouraged to slam buckets on the ground to scare the turtles away from the inner ring and make it to the outer ring. The turtles used vary in age and size. We saw anywhere from 3-inch turtles to full adult females, and right now is the laying season for these turtles. So by being kept in captivity, they are being prevented from laying eggs and helping sustain their own population. These turtles are kept throughout the entire summer, June, July, and August, and they are raced every Wednesday for this event. The race that we attended had over 200 racers, and I'd say there were approximately 50 wild-caught turtles that were being rented out and used throughout the morning. That means that each turtle was probably raced 4 to 5 times each. They are put through a tremendous amount of stress between the buckets being slammed behind them, being dropped, being picked up by their tails, being flipped upside down, and although this event takes place in the morning where it's generally cooler, on hot days they can't escape that heat, and we did see lots of turtles that were just sitting directly in the sun. We actually heard them announce that their record for participants in a single day was over 500 people, meaning if they had about 50 turtles that they were using, those turtles were raced 10 times each on a brick surface in the sun, being scared in order to move away. And if you can believe it, that isn't even the worst of it all. So are you guys in charge of handing out the turtles to the participants? There's so many.
I know, yeah.
Do you know where they come from?
Just their legs. They're just painted.
Or is it like the same ones used throughout the summer?
Yeah, usually.
Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes like people, if they bring their own, they'll leave theirs here with us.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Well, there's some bigger ones too. So there's like kind of all sizes.
Yeah.
There was a huge one last week. It wouldn't even fit in the bucket.
I mean, we could kind of forgive the event if they were using turtles that were being kept in captivity as pets, but the fact of the matter is these turtles are taken from the wild for our own entertainment. Back in 2016, I had the opportunity to talk to the volunteer who cared for the city's collected turtles throughout the summer, and according to her, they are set up in a dog kennel type enclosure with a kiddie pool of water on one side, and they are fed primarily turtle pellets, which wild-caught turtles are not going to know what pellets are, and it sounds like in more recent years they are feeding them live minnows as well, so that's a good change. But she did say that, and I hate this, but about half of the turtles die throughout the summer from heat exhaustion or stress or starvation or any other number of reasons. In addition, the turtles are collected from all around the Perham area and put together in the same dog kennel, which just promotes the transmission of diseases through these individuals. Plus, they are willing to take in unwanted turtles that people previously had as pets, don't want anymore, give to the city of Perham, and I assume they're added to the same dog kennel because at the end of the summer, all of the surviving turtles are let loose in a single nearby pond or lake. They aren't put back where they were collected from. They're all put together in the same body of water, and according to various studies in the past, only about 20% of relocated reptiles actually survive. Say the city takes 100 turtles from the wild for a summer of races. We know they replace a lot of them throughout the summer, and we can only imagine what that means. So we're told that around half of them die throughout the summer, so that leaves us with about 50 turtles surviving. And when they're all released at the end of the summer, 20% of the remaining 50 leaves us with 10 surviving turtles of 100 at the end of the year. Meaning that in order for us to have our own entertainment of racing turtles, 90 have to die every year approximately, and that's assuming they only take 100 from the wild. But it's not just the city that's collecting these wild turtles. The public is collecting them too, and even selling them at garage sales I have personally seen happen. So we're going to head out into the area and try to find some garage sales to show you that this is actually happening. Well, we've visited a few garage sales, could not find any selling turtles, thankfully. So maybe that means the city is cracking down on it. I doubt it. I bet it's still happening. So actually, here's a picture that I took when I was in Perham last and saw that these turtles are actually being taken and sold at garage sales. Native turtles in Minnesota are illegal to collect from the wild, but with the little exception, if they are being used for turtle races, it is therefore legal. I don't know how that rule is still in effect, but the crazy thing is is the Minnesota law recently changed that soon, if you want to breed, raise, or own reptiles that are native to the area, you're going to have a special permit in order to do so. But for the use of turtle races, you can still go collect them from the wild.
So you just breed the turtles still and just say they're going to be used for turtle races.
Well, you have to be under 18 in order to do that. So that's another thing. If you
have a kid.
Yeah, so the loophole is if you have a kid, you can say that they're the ones selling them, which is how they get away with it at garage sales. It's just terrible all around. But we don't want to end this video on a sad note, so we want to wrap this up by sharing our thoughts on how we could make this event more sustainable, because the people of Perham love this event. It's a huge part of their community, and I think they're just misinformed as to how wrong it's being handled at the moment. So we think that if they were able to use turtles that were kept only in captivity and leave the wild ones in the wild, they could easily reach out to a local herpetological society or reptile rescue to donate red-eared sliders, because they are surrendered to rescues by the dozens and they are overridden with red-eared sliders. They don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, a lot of times they won't accept red-eared sliders because of how many they get.
There's so many, so why don't we use those for the races? Just make sure they stay in captivity and aren't released because they're not native to our area. But we'd also have to crack down on the proper handling of these animals to make sure they're not going through tremendous amounts of stress. But if they were kept individually in homes and not in a big dog kennel type environment, I figure that would really help. And they would be used to captive diets, unlike the wild counterparts. So there's a lot we could change, but it could maybe still happen more sustainably. And I'll actually put a link in the description to where you can email your thoughts to the city of Perham if you have additional ideas on how you can make this a better event for the wildlife. I have a feeling there'd be a lot of reptile rescues willing to donate red-eared sliders for this event and take care of them in the meantime, and that would be good exposure for them because they could sponsor this event, assuming the handling is fixed and they're not being mishandled during the races. That's a whole other subject, but it can't continue being run how it currently is. It was kind of disturbing to watch today, to be completely honest. Anyway, I hope this video wasn't too depressing, but I think it's an important one to make everybody aware of what's going on in Perham, Minnesota with the traditional turtle races. Thank you guys for watching. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below about this whole event or any other suggestions you have to make it a better event. And as always, thank you to our amazing Patreon backers who helped fund this trip up north for us so that we could film this event to bring it to everyone's attention. Thank you everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.